Hello and welcome back to Reflections of Love and Light. We've been off for a little while due to the holidays over the last few months, so it's nice to be back.
Happy holidays to everyone.
Jackie, my co-host there. So let's get right to it. Today's show is going to be about the giving of gifts. So that brings us to a subject of sowing the seeds, which me and Jackie have talked about many times. She had to explain it to me, so I'm going to have her explain it to you guys.
There's a lot of Bible verses on sowing seeds, and one that has always stuck out for me was Proverbs 11:24-25. One gives freely, yet grows all the richer. Another withholds what he should give and only suffers want. Whoever brings blessings will be enriched, and one who waters will himself be watered. So that just simply means that if I'm going to give something to you, Richard, I know that I can expect something back as a reward from God. Not that I'm expecting back something from you.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I know that giving, I'll expect something back from God because that's God's system.
Oh, okay.
He says, give and get, expect that back. It's not a selfish thing to expect a reward back.
Because I know when we first talked about this, when I heard that phrase, sowing of a seed, I always just thought it was, okay, I'm going to put a thought in someone's mind to do better. Then that blossoms inside the person and then grows. Mm-hmm. But it's that also, but also what you're saying.
It's planting a seed. For instance, if you're lacking financially, you want to plant the seed of finances, of money. So what you should do is give money to something, to a charity, to a food pantry. So you will expect, and I'm guaranteeing after this, that you will get a reward back financially. If you're looking for, maybe you need a new mattress or a new sofa, give furniture. Maybe there's a table you have around that you're not using, someone else could use that. So you're going to sow a seed in a material form. If you feel that you've been sad and kind of lonely, then you're going to sow that seed of kindness. Share your time and go to a shelter, go to a convalescent home or a nursing home, read to someone for a little while, have lunch with someone, extend kindness, and you will get tenfold that kindness back. And the same thing with love. Say someone has hurt you, you've gone through a hurtful relationship. Look for ways that you can give love out to someone that you don't even know. That way you'll get that tenfold back. You'll get that love back.
So when me and Jackie were talking about this, we kind of thought of something that, when you do stuff like this for other people and you are expecting that back, it kind of gives you a feeling of, goosebumps on your arms, that feeling of just doing something really good for another person. So we came up with this idea, and it's called the Giving of Gifts 10-Day Challenge. The purpose behind it is the sowing of the seeds, but also that this is God's system. We want to have people give to others, and they will be rewarded for that. So there's a reading that we also wanted to read, which is Luke 6:33.
If you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners do the same. If you lend to those whom you expect to receive, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners in order to receive back the same amount. But if you love your enemies and do good and lend expecting nothing in return, and your reward, God is saying, will be great. He himself is kind to ungrateful and evil men. So what that means is, I'm going to give something to someone that I don't expect something back from, or they can't pay me back. There's something I've always remembered too. I don't know if I heard it in a meditation, but it's something that I always follow. Do bad and remember, do good and forget. So if I do something good for someone, I'm not going to praise myself, oh, I just did this, or tell somebody else, oh, I just did this for somebody else.
You're going to get rewarded.
Right. I'm going to get rewarded.
You don't have
regardless.
to talk about it to feel rewarded.
Exactly.
You're going to be rewarded somehow, some way.
Right.
Through the universe.
Because God knows.
Yes. Yes.
And again, it's not selfish to say, I'm doing this because I can't wait to get that reward back.
Yeah, that's
I'm
okay.
giving this money because I can't wait to, have this credit card be paid off for me or have extra money come in for groceries for myself. We don't know anyone's situation, financially, materially. It works.
So at first when Jackie, we were discussing this, and it was kind of foreign to me to say, I want a reward for doing this good deed. But then we discussed it and we looked at this Luke reading, and it pretty much says that, yeah, it's okay. It's
okay to
okay.
expect that reward back.
So for a long time, I thought that, you shouldn't expect things in return, but yeah, it's okay.
And our God is a quick God with messages. Once we do this 10-day challenge, you are going to start seeing the rewards the first day. I'm guaranteeing that you will. It's God's system again.
So to explain the challenge a little bit, it's basically every single day you're going to do a good deed or a good act towards someone else.
Right.
Whether it be your family, friends, a stranger, you're going to be doing a good deed each day.
So Richard, let's give them some good examples of kind doings, I call them.
I wrote down a few. I have kids, young adults, and adults. So for kids, I have quarters on a bubblegum machine. Just leaving quarters on top of those little gumball machines, a bunch of them. So kids, oh, what the heck? Oh, a bunch of quarters? You can get the gumball that you wanted. Kids make quarters. They have allowances where they could do something simple like that.
Maybe your mom went grocery shopping. You can help her put away the groceries.
Without even being told. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Any kind of chore.
Right. Another one is a free lemonade stand. Usually kids do it and they, you give them $1 or whatever. But what if you saw a child on the side of the road, here's a lemonade stand, here's $1. If I, working, if I saw that, I would probably give the $1 anyway.
Well, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Not expecting a reward back.
Right, but still getting that reward anyway.
Right.
Coloring pretty pictures and putting them on the poles on the street, just for people to see.
Maybe in Stop and Shop, where they
yeah.
have the pin.
Yeah,
thing.
just a simple picture.
Oh, that's cool.
People that walk by and then see the pictures. Cleaning your room without being asked. Your mom and dad come home, see that your room's all clean. That's going to give them that feeling. Definitely. And
You'll
then,
not only get a reward from God, but you get a reward from them.
Yeah, right. They're going to all the praise you're going to get for just doing something as simple as that. Young adults, I put taking the time to see that people who are less fortunate. Just taking the time to do that and just seeing that you can do a bunch of different things. Greatest gift is giving your time. Like you said, you've said that to me many times. So giving your time, soup kitchens, looking out for a kid who may be going down a wrong path and trying to get them to, show them a different way. That's simple.
Maybe help someone in class, tutor them a little bit.
Yeah. If you're an older sibling, spending time with your younger sibling that you don't normally, maybe helping an elderly person cross the road with their groceries into a car. I mean, just simple little things. It doesn't cost anything for a young adult or a child to do any of those things. For adults, we have more money, so more capability to spend money on other people. So, you can do all these, like the soup kitchen for the young adults, even the siblings. We all have brothers and sisters. Most of us do. Not all, but you can do the same thing. But other things that would be money would be pay for the person next to you in line, whether it be groceries, Dunkin' Donuts, at the car wash, pay for their
service
or whatever they're in line for. Just today I started my challenge and I was in line and I ended up paying for the person behind me. And I'm not going to lie, the first thing that came kind of in my head is like, how much are they spending? I don't really know. And I kind of felt guilty feeling that way.
Well, you can always too say, I want to give $5 towards their order.
Right.
That.
But I said, no, Richard, I'm doing this. You said you're going to ask other people to do this challenge. You're going to do it. whatever, if it was $40 or whatever, you're going to pay for this next order that's coming through. So it ended up being $5, like $6. So, but, you know, it was just, and it just made me feel so wonderful to get by the fear of, oh, what is it, too much? No, it's never too much. I'm going to get something in reward back. So I'm
And
doing
how
this.
awesome was it when, because you had said that
The guy behind me, I'm pulling off, and he goes up, and then he starts waving out his car window, like frantically saying thank you. So, yeah, it made me feel,
and you don't even know how much you probably made his day, not just by the $5, but something else going on with him that day.
the funny thing that you mentioned that, and I didn't even tell you about this when I did it, I could see him in the back because what had happened was my card wasn't going through. So I could see him kind of getting, he was already behind me, I was looking at him, and he wasn't really like in a good mood. And then when the card wasn't going through, I was there maybe like 4 to 5 minutes for them to swipe my card.
Yeah.
So it finally goes through, and then he gets up there, and I could see his face light up. So I know it changed
Absolutely.
his day
Yeah.
from that point on. I don't know what happened with him from there on, but it just made me feel good for changing, at least for that few minutes in his day, that he smiled, and it brought a smile to his face.
Yeah.
So, hello everyone. We had to put this into the original podcast. After me starting the 10-day challenge this morning, paying for someone's food in line that came to like $6, we received a check in the mail from Bank of America. It was a settlement check for $28. It wasn't like a large sum, but it's just funny how Jackie just mentioned in that part of the podcast that she guaranteed that you'll see quick results, and then that happened pretty much right after we had finished the podcast. So we had to put that part in. So back to the original podcast. Donate books, collect coats, and donate the coats. That was one that you had.
If you have blankets around, donate them to the
Extra
shelter
blankets,
or
yeah.
to one of the veterinarian hospitals or one of the
Yeah.
the shelters for animals.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
We all have things that we have that we can give.
Yeah, you have
freely
extra
give.
of, yeah.
Right.
Putting extra money in a parking meter. Yeah, we do that all the time. Saying something nice to someone randomly. Just someone you, in the store, your hair looks pretty today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just simple something like that.
Yeah.
They might look at you funny like, oh, do I know this person? Or, but, you know,
They're
it's...
trying to pick me up.
Yeah, I know, right? Right, yeah.
So we have to be careful maybe what we say.
But, you know, those are a few examples of things that you can do that we've come up with that people could try. I'm sure people will have tons more that they can think of off the
And
top of
then
their
it's going to
head.
be just automatic. You know, as soon as you get away from the shy feeling of how someone's going to respond, because and I'm not tooting my own horn, I'm proud to say that I do give a lot. And whether it's information, you know, of with my spiritual work in the store randomly, you know, telling somebody I love their shoes, you know, how pretty they are, their hair
Yeah.
looks great.
You do that a lot.
You know, I make sure that I walk up to any serviceman, any vet, you know, and shake their hand and tell them, thank you so much for what you're doing for us. I don't get embarrassed at all because it's just natural for me.
Yeah, you do it a lot more than me, but I mean,
But it'll come natural for everyone.
right. The challenge is gonna get me out of that, and it's gonna.
It will
help
also
me.
help not only for us to be giving, it'll help you to communicate better with people.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, coming out of your shell,
Yep.
maybe you're a little shy and a little reserved and step back. It'll help broaden your growth.
Okay.
So another thing that we came up with too, if you want to, you know, give us some feedback on my spiritual page, on my Facebook page, and tell us, you know, some things, comment on what you've done. We're going to put this podcast on our spiritual page anyway, so underneath you can put comments of the things that you've done, or maybe you have some examples that we could start doing as well that you've done for people to make their day, and just, you know, with the giving. And also, I would love to hear from you, because I'm guaranteeing a reward. I want to know what you've gotten.
Well, yeah, what your
You know,
rewards were. What
kind
did
of
you...
gifts have you received in these 10 days?
Right, something that, I mean, it could be someone who even heard about this challenge and now they're doing something for you while they're doing this challenge.
Right. Yeah. That's awesome.
So that would be like a great
I
story.
saw something else. It was on Facebook that people are doing is putting out there they want to do something nice for 5 people. So when you comment, you put your name. Then through the year, they have a year to do something nice or send you a gift in the mail for those certain 5 people who respond quickly.
Oh.
So it's kind of like that
Like
a
that,
little bit,
yeah.
but you're doing something every single day. And again, it doesn't have to be to a stranger. I know yesterday was an important day. It was Give to an Officer Day. So if you go by an officer, it's hot, it's cold. Well, it's cold here. Maybe give them a cup of coffee or a voucher for Dunkin' Donuts. Or just say thank you. Stop real quick. Thank you for everything that you do for us. Because I mean, the stories that I keep hearing, what they do for us above and beyond what they're getting paid for and what they see from a day to day, they're important, along with our soldiers and, our vets. I see someone with a vet hat on. I'm always going over there. Maybe we can do something the next level and, give them something, not just a thank you, which that goes a long way for them, but, give them something else.
So we are challenging you to do this 10-day challenge. Hopefully, I started today.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie does it every day anyway, but I think it's just going to become where people are just going to, it's not just going to be 10 days. It's just going to be a change of their thinking.
Mm-hmm. And if you're at home, I know where we're living, and I know the podcast reaches everywhere, warm weather, cold weather. If you're at home all day because it's cold, reach out to someone you haven't talked to in a long time. You'll change their day. Hi, I was just thinking of you. It could be your mom. It could be your brother that lives far away. It could be a friend. There's things that you can do still at home.
Right.
There's also, you can go online to donations.com. There's all kinds of places that you can go to donate money. You can do $5, $10, $1. Whatever you have. So if you're at home, you're not feeling well, there's still,
things
be
that
creative.
you can do. Yeah, you can still do.
Yeah.
So want to wish everyone luck with the challenge. We hope this takes on and spreads like wildfire. I know I do. It's something that I feel strongly about, that it will help you along with the other people. And it will, it just spreads. It's that feeling of euphoria when you do something for someone else. It's catchy, it's addictive, or something like that. So,
It's like when they say a smile can go a long way.
right.
When
someone else smiles at you, it kind of makes you
giving
smile.
a gift, right? You're
Right.
smiling.
Yeah. All right. So,
Ooh, know what a good one is that
What?
just came to me that I feel like someone needs to hear this? Why don't you babysit for someone that had, the parents can have a night out,
that's a good
or
one.
maybe they're a single mom and
Yeah.
a couple hours. Oh my gosh, goes
for
a long
someone
way.
who's been a single mom and hasn't been
Yeah,
out
and
in a
just
while.
says, hey, I'm going to take so and so for a while, go shopping, whatever you want to do, or even
That is a
spend the
good one,
night.
yeah.
So I feel like, because I get stuff coming in
Mm-hmm.
anyways while we do our podcast, I feel like someone's going to hear this and need to do that for someone. It needs to be done. So.
All right. So, in conclusion, the 2 readings that we read, the Proverbs 11, 24, and 25, sowing seeds, and then Luke 6:33. That's giving to others and expecting a reward in return.
Right. I believe it's Luke 6:33 to 35.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to look it up, that's great.
And we would love for everyone to do the challenge.
And we want feedback.
Yes,
and
please.
emails. I love the emails. They still keep coming in.
Yep.
They slowed down through the holidays.
Right. Yeah.
About another show topic or a question that you have.
Yep. Or it's something that we could do in an upcoming show. Perfect.
Like and share my spiritual page.
It's the
Please.
right. Like in the past, we kind of asked everyone to try and spread the word, and we wanted to kind of get to 500 before the end of the year. Didn't happen, but we're up to like 320 as of today, this morning, and it's still climbing.
I'm so proud of my page, and we have so much. I just did an event at a restaurant on Thursday night that went really well. So I'm going to be doing more events, spiritual events. This one was
stepping out of your
my comfort zone, and I'm growing as well.
Yeah,
And
you are.
So I'm proud of that, and I'm proud of my page. So I would love for you to like it and share it. That's something that you can give to me as a gift.
All right.
So spiritualvisionary@yahoo.com is my email, and spiritual counseling, visionary, and divine gifts is the Facebook page.
And one last thing that we wanted to talk to everyone about is Jackie and our friend Judy have been working on their new newsletter, Reflection. They just are putting on the finishing touches as of this morning, and I think it's going to be ready to be put out Monday.
So if you could also send me your email addresses if you'd like to receive the newsletter through my spiritual page, private message me and give me your email address.
It's a really good one, so you guys are going to want to read this one. It's good. Good stuff.
I love them all, but
But it's got some great stories in it. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next show. Bye-bye.
Remember, greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Have a blessed week.